Hello, guys. Today we're talking about L. Ron Hubbard's son clocking L. Ron Hubbard himself. And as the title of the thumbnail suggests, we're going back to where the problem starts with all of these Scientology situations, which is L. Ron Hubbard himself. Like, as much as L. Ron Hubbard is dead, as much as he's underground, as much as all of that is already a fact, what is not a fact is that all of his writings have been resurrected, implemented, and run by, the executive body of his most fervent sycophants that are still following on his footsteps. But this is something that is not spoken about enough. And again, going back to the point of in what world can anyone really purport that this man was an American bred God when his own son went to a council meeting in Clearwater and said this about his father?
Dynamic Research Foundation in Wichita, Kansas. Sarah and my father got into a tremendous divorce battle where Sarah was claiming the same things as an example that he had been doing with my mother many years before that, which is beatings, attempted abortions, etc.
Beatings, attempted abortions, etc. And here, Owen Hubbard's son is calling out his father for beating not one of his wives, not only just his mom, who he also had attempted abortions. So let that really fully sink in. The man that was writing all about how it was so bad for a baby to be abused because, oh my God, they're going to get an engram and it's going to create so many problems for them. His own son is accusing him of beating and attempted abortions to not one wife, two of them. Two of them.
I mean, the same things as an example that he had been doing with my mother many years before that, which is beatings, attempted abortions, etc.
Beatings, attempted abortions, etc. That's what Elwin Hubbard was up to as he was writing Lies on a Book that really pitched, oh yeah, it's really important that kids, he was kind of pitching like it's important that, well, he would say like if it was an attempted abortion and the kid survived, that was really going to F up the kid. So I guess Elwin Hubbard just decided to take matters into his own hands. Not once, not twice, but also over a span of years. Imagine this was always known. Imagine this man went to a Clearwater City Council meeting, God knows how many decades ago, and put all of this on the public record where anyone could search it, anyone could see where the source of all of this dysfunction and chaos come from, but it hasn't been put together, you guys. Somehow those dots are not getting connected, are not getting confronted. And everyone is supposed to think of Alvin Hubbard as this amazing New York Times best-selling author and humanitarian. What type of humanitarian, pitched also as an American born God, is really out there getting clocked by his son, exposed at a public council meeting for beating not one wife, but two, and allegedly attempting abortions not once, but several times with both women? Elwin Hubbard was not a doctor. Why in the literal living hell would Elwin Hubbard's son be saying that he was exposed to seeing this? Really do ask yourself.
And he injecting air into his heart with a hypodermic and also poisoning a bottle of whiskey. Both of them untrue and pure fabrication by my father. My father's only had one basic driving goal in any organization, and that is total and complete control. He could never share responsibility, sit on a board of directors, or even operate anyway in a group. And he felt he was being constrained, and he thought he was being confined. And he, quite literally, he was in terrible financial straits because he spent money like water.
He spent money like water. Hello, Miss Pilot. Imagine. I was as shocked as you are. Honestly, YouTube recommended this video the other day, and I was like, what in the literal living hell is actually this? To hear it from his son's mouth. And again, it was very remnant of what we just went and did today as we went to the commissioner LAPD meeting and we exposed what our parents have been up to, because that's what's being done. As this son exposed his father, as we exposed our parents, the only way to curtail this subject of continual cycle of abuse of kids being put to do this is that you have to confront your parents. You have to confront the facts, and you have to reconciliate a lot. Hello, COB Live. Thank you. Thank you so much. And good job to Owen Hubbard's son too here, that he did this many years back, you guys. Would have been a great day for a mandated reporter to have, taken a little closer attention as to what was being said already here.
All of a sudden one day, my father and Mary Sue, they emptied all the bank accounts. Now, he was only able to sign on one small bank account. But I remember my father talking about how he had gotten other people to empty them, and how he had forged the names on checks. But anyway, he had emptied.
So L. Ron Hubbard, the check forger too. And notice how he does bring up how convicted felon, conspiratorial at large Mary Sue Hubbard was all up in there doing L. Ron Hubbard's bidding, because that's exactly what was already exposed right here. This man already told us his father he wouldn't have anyone be part of his board of directors. He wouldn't get any advice. He wouldn't hear from anyone else. Everyone was just at the whim of whatever his father said. And there was, Mary Sue Hubbard that, I remember as a child, you guys, being told the Kakamimi story about Mary Sue Hubbard. And she was just like, oh yeah, she did bad stuff. And that's why she had to be, she went off the rails, is how they called it. Like, she went off the rails. L. Ron Hubbard always stayed on the rails, but Mary Sue Hubbard, oh no, she went off the rails. And that's why she had that situation. She pulled that in. So that's how it was explained to us when we were kids.
The entire bank, of all the bank accounts of the Wichita Dynamic Research Foundation.
Oh yeah, and they're going around banks forging signatures, federal crime, and emptying bank accounts all over the US. This is an American bread god, according to the IRS. Just let that sink in. The IRS says the man who went around forging checks, emptying bank accounts that he was not even supposed to have access to, getting his wife to fully conspire, fully sign on, fully sign in, fully commit the crimes together, is who the IRS bows down to say, you know what we should really do? Take that little, religious donation where you do get to float a needle if you admit to felonies. And maybe we shouldn't be giving you that write-off. Maybe we should incentivize the behavior. Maybe.
Foundation, and did another one of his fleeing in the nights to Phoenix, Arizona. My father only felt good with
Fleeing in the night to Arizona. So, whenever we've said to you guys, convicted felon on the run, L. Ron Hubbard, he was not a convicted felon on the run, was he? The law was looking for him. Law enforcement has been looking for him. And today, everyone plays dumb, purporting that they really want to respect the religious rights of L. Ron Hubbard and his sycophants who pretend that they are the ones that invented the law. So L. Ron Hubbard's game has always been, who is your daddy? Is disgusting, is nauseating. And here was L. Ron Hubbard's own son denouncing it how many decades ago? And yet a whole bunch of people still playing dumb. Thank you guys for joining. Please like and subscribe, and I will see you very soon. Bye bye.